समाज तप पावे निज पद राज, पावे निज पद राज. जय जिनेन्द्र.
Yes, Jai Jinendra. Today we are starting chapter 8 of Moksha Marg Prakashak. Am I audible? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
problem, let me know. I'll change my position. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we have finished 6th chapter. If you have any doubts, you can ask me after 8 o'clock related to chapter 6. And today we are going to do a wonderful chapter. That is 8th chapter, Upadesh ka Swarup, the nature of the discourses. And Upadesh means what? Discourses. Bhagwan ne jo Upadesh diya, what methodology we have to apply to understand it. So this is basically hermeneutics. Hermeneutics is interpretation of scriptures. So we have to interpret the scriptures from 4 ways. And what are those 4 ways? Okay, and you have already studied this chapter in a capsule form in first year itself in the lesson 4 Anuyog. Okay, so this chapter is going to talk about the 4 Anuyog. If you can quickly look at the contents, okay, there they have first of all, why this chapter in this place, that we are going to see, and then what are the contents of this chapter we'll see, and then we'll see this chapter. So first of all, the book that we are reading is Moksha Marg Prakashak. In chapter 1 was introductory about Dev, Guru, and about the authenticity of Moksha Marg Prakashak. All that was discussed in chapter 1. Then in chapter 2, they went on to say that we all want happiness and what is the way for happiness, what is suffering. The cause of suffering is mithyatva, agyan, and asayam. So all that they have explained, and then the way out. So up to chapter 6, 7, they are only explaining the cause of suffering, that is mithyatva. In many, many ways, psychologically, spiritually, logically, philosophically, metaphysically, ethically. Okay, from so many point of views, they have explained the mithyatva, and now he is going to introduce us the right path. But to know the right path, you have to apply the 4 Anuyog. So all the right path of moksha, that is the moksha marga, is there in the scriptures, and the scriptures are presented in these 4 ways. The Prathamanuyog, the Karnanuyog, Charnanuyog, and Dravyan. So he's giving us the tools by which you have to interpret the scriptures. If you don't interpret the scriptures, then you will misinterpret them, and again you will be in mithyatva. Okay, so then only the scriptural reading from 9th chapter it starts. He started with Samyak Darshan Ka Swarup, and then he could not even complete that chapter and that sentence, and they took him away and they got him killed. But whatever is given in chapter 9 and after that, you find them in many other texts. So then if you join the dots, then this text is complete. But whatever may be the case, the way he would have written the Moksha Marga would have been even more beautiful and you can say amplified and accurate to the dot, everything, So the way he's discussed Mithyatva itself is so fabulous. So just imagine how he would have given the treatment to Samyaktva and all that. But as a Bhavi Jeev can just pin the dots and he can come on the path of moksha. Okay, so for that, this chapter stands in between the Mithyatva portion and the Samyaktva portion and the Moksha Marg portion. So this is a tool, a methodology, a light which will throw light, a lamp which will throw light on the Moksha Marga, and then you can tread on it. Okay, so when you look at the index page, it says that you will be having what to say. First, what are the 4 Anuyog? Then what is the way of the Anuyog, the Vidhan of Anuyog? Then in these Anuyog, there is no dosh, there is no kalpana. They may seem to be contradicting each other, but there is no contradiction when you apply the different viewpoints, and all that is discussed in the content page. So all the Shastra, they are written from Anuyog point of view only, you have to understand them. If you don't apply the Anuyog, you will not understand the deeper meaning and you will remain at the superficial level in the Mithyatva level. Am I loud and clear, children? Okay. So now with this little introduction, all of you take chapter 8. In Hindi, it is page number 268. And the same lecture I've given in Hindi in my Friday evening Hindi class. And there we could do 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. And there I did it in 2 hours. And here I have to do it in 40 minutes. Okay. So let us try to see. I'll not miss out on anything, but anything extra, you please catch up with that lecture in Hindi. Whoever can. Chalo. First of all, he says that Bhagwan has done a great upkar on us by telling us the path of moksha marga. By telling whom? The mithya drishtis. Those who are on the false path. See, there are only 2 paths. Either the path of liberation or the path of bondage. If you are not on the path of liberation, you are on the path of bondage. And when you are on the path of bondage, है ना, जो जेल में बंधने को जा रहा है, वो छूटेगा कैसे? वो तो बंधने का ही काम कर रहा है. A person is taking up activities, antisocial activities, to fall in the to fall behind the bars. So when he is going on the path of falling behind the bars, at that time he cannot think of liberation. Once he is in the bondage, then only he thinks of liberation. Oh, how should I come out of this? Likewise, since Anadi Kal, we are behind the bars of karma, of body, of birth and death, everything. Okay. So just yesterday, I got to read and listen to one very beautiful poem by Babu Jugal Kishorji. Not Jugal Kishorji Mukhtar, Babu Jugal Kishorji on Mrityu. If somebody wants it, you just ask me, I'll forward it to you. It was a lovely poem. It's a beautiful Hindi poetic piece, you know. And the last stanza of it was awesome. So he has eulogized death. It is death which takes you from a old body to a new body. It is that which takes you to parinirvan. It is that which takes you to the doorstep of moksha and all these kind of things, you know. And how it is universally present everywhere. It is vitrag. It doesn't see whether you are ready for it or not, whether you're rich or poor. Universally, it acts on everybody. So it was a very beautiful poem. So what I'm trying to say is that it is only from mithyatva that we come to samyak. It is from bondage only that we can go to liberation. So we have to understand first that we are in bondage. Only when you know that you are in bondage and you want to come out of it, you will think of the ways to come out of it. When you don't even feel that you are in bondage, how you will know the importance of coming out of it and all those kind of. You will rejoice in your bondage only. You'll feel this is the world only. So we are all kupa manduka. That we are all frogs in the well of samsara. We don't know the real life. And we feel that yes, this is the eternal thing. So there's no difference between the frog in the well and us. Okay, it's a very big metaphor that I have just tried to say. Okay, so if I go like this preaching or explaining one line, then I cannot complete the chapter. So let me stick to what Panditji says, and you try to understand many things. And I'm not going for the movie, so I can be with you till 9 o'clock. So the class will be till 8 o'clock, and after 8 to 9, we'll do some bhakti bhavna. Okay, chal. Whoever is interested, even if 2 people are there, I'll sit. Otherwise, even I'll go. Yes. So for the Mithya Drishti Jeev, Paramatma has preached the path of moksha and has done a tremendous upkar. Upkar means what? क्या बोलेंगे इंग्लिश में उपकार को? Like how a owner makes the servant an owner. So the servant
obligation. Obligation.
और कोई word? Now the
benevolence.
word, benevolence, compassion, उनका जो भी है, you can say, you know, his grace.
Favor.
Favor. So all these words we understand. But when you take the word upkar, see, kar means karya. Upkar means proximity. Up means proximity. So Bhagwan is the nimit. And in his proximity, the Samyak Drishtis understand their goal in life. So that is nimit. Upkar here refers to nimit. This I am telling with reference to Tattvartha Sutra, 5th chapter, Parasparo Upagraho Jivana. One jeev for another jeev is Paraspar only upkar. Nimit. Instrumental agent. Nobody, ek dravya cannot do anything for another dravya. That meaning comes out of the word upkar. But that meaning doesn't come out of the words like obligation, benevolence, grace. Wahan to karta bhavi hai. Hai na? I shower the grace on you means, oh, I can do things for you, I cannot do things for you. Wo sab meaning aa jata. Okay. So, in the same way, what to say? That is only the Uttama Upkar. Showing somebody the path of moksha is the best gift that you can give. And all the Tirthankars and Gandhars have done just that. And the Acharyas have done just that. And so their discourses are called Upadesh. And if you don't understand their Upadesh the way they should be understood, then we remain in Mithya. So their Upadesh is written in 4 formats. They are not 4 books. They are 4 formats that we have to understand. And you know the names, Prathamanuyog and all this. Okay. Now, what is each one? You all know. Where you have narratives, biographies, stories, illustrations, visuals, where you can imagine some episodes happening one after another, incidents, all that is called, comes under Prathamanuyog. Then Jivasthan, Gunasthan, Marganasthan, which cannot be materially, empirically verified, which are only Keval Gyan Gamya, which are accessible only in Keval Gyan. And we Chadmasta Jeev can know them only through Anuman. You cannot verify them in a lab or in a microscope or any scientific tools. Only through inference, you can infer them and know them. So those topics come under Karananuyog. So whether it is your karma theory, your Gunasthan, your Leshya, Marganasthan, Jivasthan, which we cannot verify even with the best scientific tools, come under Karananuyog. Then do's and don'ts come under Charananuyog, and the very deep metaphysical thought, the discussion on dravyas and tattvas, philosophically, metaphysically, spiritually, the discussion on them comes under Dravyanuyog. Is it clear? So there may be one text and you can look at it from these 4 Anuyog point of view, analyze it, understand it, and adopt it, and then march ahead. So first of all, he says, what is the use? What is the prayojan? What is the purpose of 4 Anuyog? So the first one, Prathamanuyog ka prayojan. He says that in this world, the jeev, no, they are of very mediocre buddhi, intelligence, or they may be what to say, not having a very deeper vision of things. They don't have the basic common sense. Who? The Aam Aadmi. He's a very simple man. The common man is a very simple man. He follows only simple things. Roti, kapda, makan, dukan, mil jaye to bas. Okay. So such people, to impress upon them means to awaken them, they've used the style of Prathamanuyog. So the Aam Aadmi will not understand the dravyas and tattvas. You have to preach to him through stories and metaphors and illustrations for him to get his attention. He can relate with it. So because the world is a very strange place, and punya pap activities keep happening, and so we talk about the incidents in the life of great people for the Aam Aadmi to understand. Then those jeev who have a tuchha buddhi. Tuchha buddhi means they are not so very smart, spiritually smart. They are spiritually bankrupt. So to make them understand, Dharma Kathanuyog, stories, analogies, all these are used. Okay, so in different ways, they try to make them understand. They tell them the stories of Punya Pap, okay, and stories of great men, and then impress upon them. So they give one very beautiful example over here. That supposing yeah, यहाँ पे page number 2 से जैसे कोई सुभट हो, for example, you want your child to go into army or air force or navy. So what you will do, right from childhood, you will tell him stories of soldiers and warriors, and how the people fought different wars and all their courage and all those kind of things. Or maybe that child has heard somewhere of some incident of some soldier fighting and all that, and he's inspired to go to the army or navy or air force and all that. So if Shobha madam is listening to the lecture, she will tell us how her husband, how her son, and how her father-in-law all went to the air force, and how many heroic things they have faced and all that. So what was the trigger point? And there must have been some inspiration they have got. They must have got listening to some story of some great person, and then okay, even I should be like that, and they took a call. So likewise, when you listen to them, you get the utsa. Utsa means the, what to say, you are also fascinated by such things, and then you go on that. In the same way, when we tell these stories of Tirthankars and Chakravartis and Baldev and Vasudev and Prati Vasudev, Ganadhar and Satis, so Mahasatis, all these people, then people can understand the value of many things from their life stories. Okay, I would like to tell you my story that when I was a young girl, 15-year-old, I got this beautiful book, Jain Dharm Ka Maulik Itihas, written by Hastimalji Maharaj. And there, 63 Shalaka Purush Jivan Charitra was there before me. And I read it in a year, and I knew what I have to do in life. You understand? And then I read all the Amar Chitra Kathas and all these Jain Kathamala, Jain Kathai. So stories impressed me so much. And I read plenty of stories. Today also I have a beautiful book with me, Kulak Kathai, in which you have stories on Dan, Sheel, Tap and Bhav. So many beautiful characters. So many times I feel like starting a storytelling club, but already my plate is full of so much of work, so I don't take into all this. I just keep refraining. But given a chance, I tell so many stories. I can tell on and on and on and on and on. I really look for people who would love to listen to those stories. So it's that kind of fascination. And there are storytelling clubs also. You can start your own storytelling club. And then through the stories, you teach them the Tattvagyan. And through the Tattvagyan, you teach them the Dravyanuyog. And through the Dravyanuyog, you help them to come to their pure soul and liberate. So that is the greatest upkar you can do on anybody. So if you are nimit for even for one jeev ka samyak darshan, then that is better than saving lakhs of animals from being massacred. Why? Means you will save only lakhs of animals, say 1 lakh in one lifetime. But that jeev who would not have become a samyak drishti but for you, he will wander in samsar, and how many jeev will he kill? Endless, no? So when compared to that, this punya, shastra dan, gyan dan is of the highest order. Okay, that doesn't mean that you should not save the animals. You should save them given a chance, but not with the karta bhav, with compassion, with humanity. You should help ever, hurt never. That goes without saying. Okay, there is no substitute for that also, and there is no substitute for this also. You cannot replace that with this and this with that. Okay, but when we compare both, this is given the इसलिए you read one line, no, कि पंडित जी ने सबसे पहले बड़ा पाप छुड़वाया, और बड़ा पाप क्या? मिथ्यात्व. Okay, like that. So those people who do not have the क्या बोले, buddhi to understand reality, we help them through the Prathamanuyog stories, through examples. Okay, like for example, those jeev who have got Tattvagyan, if they read the biographies, it is like the application of the Tattva Gyan for them. Oh, they got the Tattva Gyan, they applied like this. I have got the Tattva Gyan, I also have to apply like this. So what people do, they read the Prathamanu Yoga, or you go to any Pravachan Sabha, there the Guru Bhagwans will be telling lot of stories. Hai na? And people will immediately apply in Jainism and they will try to do tap. दान करेंगे तप करेंगे, दान करेंगे to help others, तप करेंगे वो कर्म काटना with the karta buddhi they keep doing and they remain in mithya. You understand what the problem is? So they have seen the tap prathamanu yoga and they straight away take to the charnanu yoga. Okay, do's and don'ts mein aa jayenge, but they don't go to the dravyanu yoga and understand the rightness of things and they remain in mithya. They'll get little punya. That is how 1260 स्वर्ग में जीव जाते रहे. 1260 सागरोपम नो, वो जो त्रस पर्याय में आप लोगों को बताया वैसे. Clear? Understood? This is the prayojan of Prathamanu. Huh? Yeah. Now come to the Karananu Yoga prayojan. What they are trying to say is that in Karananu Yoga, they talk about the vichitrata or the strangeness of karmas, of gatis, which you cannot verify sitting over here. You have to believe in them. Oh, Bhagwan has said so, these things are there. Okay. So many people would be interested. Supposing I keep on telling Atma, 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 they may not be interested. But if I say Karma, oh, yes, 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 they may get interested in these metaphysical things. So such kind of people are also there, the logical mind people who want some statistics and some calculation things, and they'll be intrigued by it. So the Karnanu Yoga things are delivered to them, and there they'll talk about the cause and effect of karma, the fruit of it, the effect of it, Swarg, Narak, all these kind of things. And they will be inspired to give up the Papa Pravarti, taking to sins. And then they will come to the Punya activities, they'll do Samaik and all these things. And then with the Tattva Gyan Abhyas, maybe they will understand the deeper things. Maybe they will understand the deeper things. So such kind of people are also there. So the Karnanu Yoga style is also adopted in the teaching. So here you have to understand that when you take to the Tattva Gyan, Karnanu Yoga Abhyas, then they will understand the elaborations of the tattvas. Okay, when they say Jeev and Ajeev, so karma will come when you want to talk about Jeev also, and when you talk about Ajeev also. So karma is basically Ajeev, but the Jeev did not understand the real Jeev, so it got engulfed by karma. So you show him the karma layers and help him to remove the karma layers, and by that way manifest the inherent properties. So that is the style of Karnanu. Okay. So Dravya, Kshetra, Kal, Bhav. Dravya means they'll explain the substance. Kshetra means the place. Kal means the time. Bhav means the nature of things through Praman and all these things. And they'll talk of Nimit, Nemitic, someone very deep concepts. And that way they will try to help the person through Karnanu. Okay. For example, you and I may know just a diamond as a diamond. But what actually a diamond is, only a gemologist, who will give us the details that this is this much carat. So usko bolte hain parkhi. Parkhi means who knows how to examine things. So only his examination will help us to evaluate the value of the diamond and buy or sell the diamond. A common man will only know upar say what a diamond is, but the exactness, the details, only a person who studies things deeply. In the same way, Jeev Ajeev means we'll know only in a very simple way. But when we read Karnanu Yoga, then only we will know the details of the Jeev and Ajeev and all that, and then we'll be able to separate them. Okay, so you all know the Prathamanu Yoga Granthar, Adi Puran, Mahapuran, Uttar Puran. In the Shvetamba tradition, you have the Trishashti Shalaka Purusharitra in Sanskrit. In Prakrit, Apabramsh, it is the Chaupanna Mahapurusa Charitram, Jambu Swami Charitra, and all the Charit Kavya, you know, kya bole, Paumucharyam, Pradyumna Charitra, all the Prakrit works and Sanskrit works and Hindi. Nowadays, so you have them in Hindi and English. So I'll request you to read this book, Jain Saga. It's an English translation of Trishashti Shalaka Purush Charitra by an English author called Helen. Just imagine a foreign author has translated a Sanskrit text of 63 great men in the Shwetambar tradition. Likewise, you have Adi Puran, Mahapuran, Uttar Puran. Adi Puran is Adinath Bhagwan ka Jivan Charitra. Uttar Puran is 23 Tirthankars Jivan Charitra. Harivamsha Puran is Neminath and Krishna Vasudev. So all these Puranic Sahitya is also very popular among the Digambars. Okay. And in the Shwetambar, what it is, I told. So, what are the Karnanuyog Granth? It is Shatkhandagam, Dhavala, Gomatsar, okay, then Kashai Pahud, all these things, all very high Karnanuyog Granth. And in the Shwetambar tradition, it is the 8 or 6 Karma Granthas. I think 6 Karma Granthas. Likewise, then you have Triloksar, and here you have Jambudvip Pragyapti, Surya Pragyapti, and this kind of comparisons you can do. So all these are Karnan. In these books, you'll find plenty of Karnan. Okay, yeah. So here, basically, mathematics, calculations, all these things will be primarily done. But like you have Gati, Agati, Lagu Dandak, so many beautiful thokdas. You know what is a thokda? Thok means wholesale. So all the knowledge that is scattered in different agam, they are taken and kept it in one place. In wholesale, they give you that knowledge. So that is called. So there are more than 200, 250 thokdas. So there is one. There was one Shravakji in my neighborhood who knew 140 thokdas by heart. And even I memorized at least 40, 50 before studying all these texts. So from that also, I can teach you so much of the Shwetambar literature and all those things, you know. So I don't want to go into it right now. But I'm just telling you, there is so much to learn, whether you're a Digambar or a Shwetambar. You know? Yeah, but the beauty of Pandit Todarmalji giving us the spirituality, clearing all our myths, you know, that is just out of the world. You don't have a second Todarmalji. And from where Todarmalji sat and preached, from the same place Sanjeevji Goda sat and preached. So he is a kind of a second Todarmalji, and he has popularized Todarmalji in so many ways, you know, through his videos, through his talks, through his visits, and all those kinds. Okay, so next comes Charananuyog. What is the meaning of Anuyog? All that we have discussed. Anuyog is a style of narration. Okay, Charananuyog talks about what is good for you, what is not good for you, whether it is from food point of view, your ethics point of view, himsa, violence, untruth, stealing, unchastity, and possessions, how bad they are. How bad in the sense how they bring the soul down. And the opposite of these, how they uplift the soul. So the snake and ladder game through the vices and virtues, all that comes under the Charananuyog. Okay, so here they tell you to give up the sinful path, to take up the righteous path, and only when you have a carefree mind, you can focus on the deeper things. But if your mind is agitated by, oh, I've done this corrupt activities, I may be caught. If you have that fear, you cannot take the flight to moksha. So your ground has to be clean. Your chitta bhumi has to be clean for you to go into the deepest realms of your existence, or to the highest realms of this universe. So your chitta bhumi should be clean. And if it is not clean, whatever you put in it, it will become contaminated. So first they have tried to clear the chit through these ethics. Ethics means all the rituals, the practices you take to them. But then Jinwani also tells us that these rituals and practices we have taken since Anadi Kal. There is nothing that we have not taken to. है ना, मेरू जितना ओगा पात्रा पिच्छी कमंडल लेके हमने छोड़ दिया, but nothing has happened. We are still stuck up only. Why? Because we did not apply these tools and remove the mithyatva, which is a biggest sin. Only when that goes, the other sins will go. You can minimize them, but you cannot erase them completely without applying the 4 Anuyog. Okay, so that is the now whenever you take to Charnanuyog practices, it is Manda Kashai. It is Shubha Upyog. Without the application of Dravyanuyog, all the Charnanuyog practices are coming under Shubha Upyog only, which is again Shubha Karma. Even Ahimsa, if you don't know the highest meaning, then Ahimsa will only be help others, not to kill anybody. So when we say Daya Palo, we leave this Jeev and we do Daya on other Jeev. We should not kill an ant, we should not kill an elephant, we should not do this, we should not do this. We should not use leather, we should not use silk. बस हम वहीं पर रह जाएंगे, अपने आत्मा के ऊपर तो अप्लाई ही नहीं कर. So like with your eyes you can see the whole world, but you can't see your nose. To see the nose you have to bring your eyes down. Likewise, to see your atma you have to look there. But with these eyes we only keep seeing outside, we never look inside. That is our ego, that is our man kashai. So that man kashai has to go, only the vinay, then only the vinay will come, the namo namo will come, namaskar bhav will come. Apni atma mein namo, apni atma mein namo, that will come, otherwise it won't. Okay, so through narrations of the fruit of punya pap, they have tried to bring us on the path of moksha, sugati, durgati and all that. So I want sugati, I don't want durgati. That means you want gati. I don't want a bad jail, I want a good jail. But I choose to remain in jail. I don't want to enjoy the freedom. That is the meaning of taking to Charnanuyog without the application of Dravyanu. Okay, now there is no such order that first you should read Dravyanuyog, first you should read Charna. There's no such thing. There are different kinds of people, like how in a super departmental store you have all kinds of things and all kinds of people come there. There may be a Gyani, there may be an Agyani. So the departmental store has to have everything. Likewise, Jinwani is there. It is a super departmental store. It has everything, right? Anybody can walk in and take things according to their taste and keep evolving. It's that like. Okay, so through Charnanuyog, what to say? Now, if a Tattvagyani, everywhere they have given, if a Tattvagyani takes to Charnanuyog, how he will take it? And without the Tattvagyani, if they take to Charnanuyog and other Anuyog, how they will take it? Both are given. I'll tell you one thing, I've just fallen in love with the style of Pandit Todarmanji. The way he writes it, superb, it's just awesome, mind blowing. How he understands the psychology of people, and so truly he's written about Jinwani, So we should popularize this book and do something about it and apne karam kaate. Okay, so what they're trying to say is, recently there was one open book exam on this Moksha Marg Prakashan, Satpat Foundation ka. Now they're bringing out another open book exam on Ratnakaran Shravakacharya. So all of you take that exam. It will be very interesting. They are yet to announce details. When it comes, I'll share it with you. Or you can also just Google Satpat Foundation. Satpat. Okay. Chalo. So what now they are telling, if a Tattvagyani takes to Charnanuyog, for him it will be for Vitaragata. If an Agyani is taking to Upvas, for him, just not eating food is upvas. But if a Tattvagyani takes to upvas, then he will try to do the real upvas. Upa matlab near, pas yani rehna. So near the Gyayak Bhav. He will practice being near the Gyayak Bhav. So Vitaragata. Yeah, being with the Gyayak Bhav is Vitaragata. Otherwise it is Ragvish. Whether you eat or you don't eat. Okay. So that is the difference. So whether partially or completely, you try to practice the Vitaraga Bhav, and that happens in Shravak Dasha, Muni Dasha, and there is a Nimitic relation between your practices and evolving spiritually. Just by taking to the practices, you don't evolve spiritually, and without taking to the practices, also you will not evolve spiritually. That you have to very clearly understand. Okay, so understand this and then take to Vitragata. And when you take to Vitragata, how much you experience the Vitragata, that much is somewhere Nirjara Moksha. Moksha, that time itself it is Moksha. That to that degree it is Moksha. And while taking to these practices, you don't experience the Vitragata, it is Shubhav. And that Shubhav is Heya. It is not Upadeya. That clarity will be in your Gyan by the application of Dravyanuyoga. Okay, so Sampurna Vitaragata is Parama Dharma. Taking to Bhakti of Bhagwan, everything comes under Ragvesh. I take to this Rag so that I understand their Vitaragata. But taking this Rag will liberate me? No. Then your Charnanuyoga understanding is not correct. Okay, last is Dravyanuyoga. Now, what is Dravyanuyoga? In which the tattvas and dravyas have been elaborated for the jiva to understand the real dharma. Okay, so those jiva who do not understand the jiva and ajiva, they cannot differentiate between them. है ना? They will not have apne mein apnapan. They will not have swapar bhed vigyan. So, write down 3 words. Through yukti, hetu, drishtant. And praman and naya. Yukti, hetu, drishtant. Praman and naya. They have helped us to understand the tattvas as they are. So what is yukti? What is yukti? Like for example, one lady wants to go for a movie, but the husband is very, very busy. So she will try all ways, to convince him to take her for a movie. So she's doing some yukti, some ways. Okay, then hetu. Hetu means the reason, cause. Tarka. Hetu is tarka. Drishtanta is examples. Praman is complete knowledge of reality. Naya is one aspect of reality. So Bhagwan has tried to tell the Jeev through Yukti, through Hetu, through Drishtant, through Praman and Naya. We have to understand these tattvas and dravyas. Now I'll tell you one thing. If you don't apply Yukti, Hetu, Drishtant, Praman, Naya, you won't get the Dravyanuyog matter. And when you don't get the Dravyanuyog matter, your Charnanuyog will be distorted. Your Karnanuyog may be an intellectual exercise. You won't come out of the karmas at all. And your name will never come in Prathaman. So if you want one day your name to be in Prathamanuyog as a liberated soul, as Namo Haryantanam, then you have to get rid of the karmas that is given in Karnanuyog. For that, you have to come to Charnanuyog, all the practices. And for Charnanuyog, you need the base of Dravya. So it is like that Maslow's law. First Dravyanuyog, then Charnanuyog, then Karnanuyog goes, then Prathamanuyog, your name is there. It's like, okay. And then, for example, he's giving one example over here. Okay, first of all, somebody has learned some skill, say driving or baking or tally or something, some skill they have learned. But if they don't practice it, what will happen to that skill?
Forgotten.
You have learned the driving, but you have forgotten. You have not practiced. So can you drive your vehicle on the highway? Can you take somebody in the car? You tell them, look, Pa, I learned driving 20 years ago, but I am not sure whether I know driving or not. Come, sit in my car. I will leave you to the airport. Will that person come and sit? So your knowledge is kacha. So that person will not get shraddha. Right? Wherever the knowledge is kacha, the shraddha can never be pakka. And without this gyan and shraddha, Your charitra can never be 100% perfect. When all the three are distorted, they are in mithya. You matlab the jeev. You matlab I. You matlab we. Okay. So you have to practice. So in the same way, through Dravyanu and Karnanu and they'll tell you about the Dravyas, about the Tattvas, but you don't go deep and apply and get the right knowledge and don't come out of Mithyatva, then what anybody can do. Okay? So this is what is about the 4 Anuyoga Prayojan. Now what is the Vidhan? Vidhan means the methodology. Why you need this methodology is explained. What is the methodology? It will come in the next 10 or 15 pages. So I request you all to read these pages and come up to page number 286. 286. Around 15 pages in the Hindi book. Please read and come. Just read and come. Okay. I'll try to do that in the next class. So class is over. It's 8 o'clock. Those who want to leave can leave. How many of you are going for the movie, dear? Hello. Those who are going for the movie, I don't think they are there in the class. Yes. Anybody has any doubt? What I taught today, you have to have anything to say, please say.
Ma'am, I have a doubt regarding the last class about the Dharma. My doubt is that I had read somewhere a statement by a scientist saying that science unites human race and religion divides human race as is observed. Now, in the current context, when a seeker who is living in this current scenario and observing everything that is pertaining to religion as such, would he look at this book as in the same vein as divisive, making it appear as if Jainism is the only right way and everything else is wrong, something like that?
Oh, that's a very nice question. First of all, I just followed one video. The
Right.
understanding of science in yesteryears.
Right.
And if I get it, I'll try to share it with you, Saurabh.
Sure.
It was a very beautiful video about science and spirituality or something like that. So there what science was understood as in those days.
Right.
See, we had people, we had astronomers like Aryabhat and all these people. So they were all scientists also, but they never rejected spirituality or philosophy. They integrated science and spirituality. Okay, so that was the science. But after this Renaissance period, where the church wanted to control everything, and the kings wanted to control everything. So when the scientists were promoted by the kings, the church, rejected it. Right. So that's how the rift between science and religion came up. Right. This is again it is born in the West, not in India. In India, we understand that science and spirituality need to go hand in hand. Right? Padamam nanam tavodaya. So your knowledge should be scientific. It should be rational. But today we understand science as material science, something that can be empirically verified. That which cannot be empirically verified does not fall in the realm of science. Right. This is the understanding today of science. Okay. But these days, scientists talk about super consciousness, parapsychology, and all these kind of things. So maybe they will realize and evolve and come to where we are. We are means where the Tirthankars are. First thing. Second thing is, when somebody reads this Moksha Marg Prakashak very genuinely, very sincerely, they will understand that Todarmalji is not preaching about Jainism. He's preaching about the universal reality of soul, which is characterized by infinite Gyan, Darshan, Sukh, Virya, which we
Right.
understand as Jain Mat.
Yeah.
So what I would like to say is, instead of promoting labels of Jainism and rejecting labels of Buddhism, Hinduism, if we can talk about this reality in a very secular way, that is what Todarmalji has tried to give it to us.
Yeah.
But
Very nice.
unfortunately, it is stuck up in the hands of the Jains.
Right.
We are not able to bring it out. See, what we need today is not building temples and putting Bhagwan inside the temples. We need to bring Bhagwan in the चौरास्ते पे लाना है, आम आदमी के नजरों में लेकर आना है भगवान की बात.
Right. Right.
Then only man will adopt the ways of compassion, at least the basic Charnanuyog of non-violence, where violence is increasing multifold. We need non-violence. And for that non-violence, you need a very logical, spiritual base for people to take up non-violence.
Right.
So educational institutions should help us promote, understand the basic compassion, tolerance, and all these things. And then at the university level, you have to bring them to the higher metaphysical reality. But at the childhood itself, if you tell them about soul and karma and rebirth, they'll become conscious and they'll have a conscious living, non-violent way of living. Otherwise, you cannot save the planet.
Yeah.
I think I've given a long answer to this.
Thank you, ma'am. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, this is how I look at things.
Jai Jinendra, ma'am.
Jai Jinendra, Shobha madam, Polia.
போயிட்டே இருக்கேன். Could you share that science and spirituality video with me also, please?
I'll try to. Yeah, I'll have to dig out where I put it and get it and give it. It was very interesting. Yeah. Yes.
We will share in the group, ma'am. Maybe share in the group, ma'am. Everybody can get it.
Okay. I'll put it on the group. It was very interesting. It was really very interesting.
Ma'am, there is a course which is being done by the Florida group, Samani Pragya group. They are doing the scientific foundations of Ahimsa. And they are one Professor Rajmal Jain is talking about science and and every Saturday it is at 8 o'clock. And yesterday he was talking about space pollution and Ahimsa and things like that. It's very interesting to know. It's basically physics and biotic based actually. If anybody wants to hear, they can contact this FIU, I think Florida Institute of whatever.
You all can become members of JAS also, Jain Academy of Scholars. We have around 100 members over there. The life membership is 11,000, and they're all scholars, like professors Dev Kumar Chakravarti and all these people. Dev Kumar sir is teaching, Gomats are there, and people from the science background, and all these people, they come and share. So yes, I think Shobha madam you're a member there.
I'm not a member, ma'am, but I keep listening. But it's mostly in very high funda Hindi, ma'am. That's, I mean, simple Hindi I can understand, but the Doordarshan wala Hindi goes over my head actually.
Yeah. So this Jain Academy of Scholars have tied up with ISJS, and they are inviting articles on Anekantvad, application of Anekantvad. And I've just submitted my abstract. And a lot of things happening globally at the intellectual forums, at Pathshala level, a lot of things are happening. So wherever you can get connected, do things. Don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Apply it in your daily life and keep spreading the word. Otherwise, you'll be spreading all Shubh Ashubh Bhav. Through this, at least you will try to be in Shubh and aim for the Shuddha Bhav. So do jitni jinwani ki prabhavna ho sake karo. How much you can do to promote this understanding, do it in whatever capacity you can.
What happened to the Tamil thing, ma'am? Some lectures you wanted us to do, kind of thing.
Which lectures?
Something in Tamil and Hindi and Tamil literature in Hindi.
I'm not able to devote time for it. That is one thing. Second thing is I'm not getting the scholars of that caliber who will do justice to those topics. I'm not finding the right people because of my commitments also. So yeah, the Swamiji Suvidhi Sagarji, he's given me a list of 10, 12 Tamil Jain books which he wants to get it translated. And there are people who are ready to publish them, but we are not doing the work. There are people who know Tamil, they don't know Hindi. Those who know Hindi, they don't know Tamil. Those who know both,
I think about 2 years back or so, some group of people started this, ma'am. I don't know how much it progressed, because I think the Suvidhi Sagarji asked a few of the Sastris to translate into Hindi.
There are
At that
34.
time, one of my friends said that it is going on.
No, there are 34 Shastrijis in Tamil Nadu, but all of them are inclined in promoting Todarmal studies. Nobody is taking up this Tamil Jain literature translation work very seriously. Nobody is taking it. And now the government of Tamil Nadu has initiated some projects to translate the Tamil literature, not Tamil Jain literature. It includes some of the Jain works into world languages, different languages of the world. The Tamil Nadu government has set apart some amount to get this heritage to the world, and to work on manuscripts and all those kind of things. And now I think even the central government is taking interest in promoting Prakrit studies. So let us see how things come up. I feel handicapped in so many ways, I feel because I didn't learn Tamil the way you people know, I feel handicapped. Maybe I'll have to take one birth, but that I'm not doing Nidan. I feel that there is some work that needs to be done and some networking needs to be done. I'll do it and leave it. That's it.
Ma'am, one of these days...
When I spoke to Dev Kumar Chakravarti sir about Suvidhi Sagarji's interest in getting these works done, then Dev Kumar Chakravarti sir said he should learn Tamil and he should start doing it rather than depending on these people. Now the problem is we can talk simple Tamil, but the literary Tamil is a little advanced thing which I and he cannot aim at. That is the problem. Okay, yeah.
Ma'am, one of these days you'll have to tell us about your Vatican experiences. Huh?
Sure.
Maybe 1/2 an hour next Sunday we'll extend it and you can tell us.
Sure. Now you go and enjoy the movie.
Thank you.
Yes, dear, class is over. We'll do the prayer
That's true, ma'am. Yeah.
Ma'am, just one more question if you have a moment.
You can ask 10 questions also. I'm at your disposal today.
No, I don't want to bother your work. But again, going back to the same subject of Dharma and Kudharma in particular, what commonly I experience is people following Jain Dharma or people who are initiating into understanding Jain philosophy, they have this constant they understand that there is a fear instilled into the minds of people by saying that if you don't do this correctly, you're doing ashatna to arihants and tirthankars and all that. So they're saying that if anything that they do is going to end up wrong, then it's going to be doing ashatna. So they should not do it at all. So how would we justify from Sudharma and Kudharma point of view?
See, there are at least one and two things. First of all, dharma is not something that is to be done. It's a realization. It's a realization.
Yeah.
Okay, that we should make it clear first of all. But the common man will not understand the realization wala dharma. He will believe only in the doing, not doing dharma.
True.
So when it comes to the Charnanu Yoga, you have to do it correctly. And if you don't do it correctly, you will do it with ashatna, then you will be liable for punishment. So there the caution is given that you should do it carefully. But if people take it otherwise, then it is their Ananta Sansar waiting for them, that is making them leave the Shubha Bhav also.
Right.
And go to Ashubh only.
Yeah.
So you have to very meticulously talk to them about Dharma. When you're doing Ashatna means how much punishment you get. And when you give it up completely, how much punishment will be waiting for you.
Right.
Like, for example, you don't catch the train properly, you'll fall down. But
Yeah.
what, you don't come to the station only and you keep wandering outside and you won't reach where you want to reach.
True.
So all things are important. How
Yeah.
you tell them is also important. How they understand is also important. So people leaving it up means what we can do. There are some examples in Todarmalji's book about this, that उपदेश तो हमेशा ऊंचा ही दिया जाता है. अब कोई
Yeah.
ले नहीं तो उसके लिए उपदेश तो देना बंद नहीं हो सकता ना.
Definitely not.
है ना? So you have
Yeah.
to keep telling and to help them realize maybe their time has not come.
Right.
Maybe a few people are like that, but others will be careful.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Anybody else? So, what is your response of today's Anuyog lesson? I told very many things revealed in the book. Anybody wants to do
Yes, ma'am.
Gandhar, Bhavbasan, you can do.
I just wanted to record my response for the day's class. It has opened up an avenue of understanding or interpreting the teachings or the directives as been applied in a very subtle manner as well as in a broader aspect. So you've done a really good justice to the subject in making us understand that although there are 4 different techniques of conveying the message or understanding the message, but they all are interlinked and have to be interlinked in our interpretation of that as well.
Very good. Shall I give you one exercise now? For example, I say Diksha. Try to apply the 4 Anuyoga on this. Try to apply the 4 Anuyoga on this.
From a Prathamanu. Sorry.
Bolo.
From a Prathamanu point of view, we will take example of Munis who have taken Diksha and followed the path in the way it has to be understood or it has to be followed. And take their examples to make it as our own experience as well. From a Karananuyog, I would say Diksha is to be related to the internal realization or the faith in the Jiva's own features and characters, and to understand those features as they have been expressed by the Tirthankars. From a Karananuyog, I would be understanding what as a part of Diksha from internal and external perspectives has to be done and has not to be done. And from Dravyanuyog, I would look at, as you often say, that Atma mein Dikshit hona hi Diksha hai. So that would be my Dravyanuyog aspect of it.
Can I just refine your statements a little, Saurabh?
Sure, go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. See, Atma mein rehne mein daksh banna is Diksha. That is the etymological meaning of the word Diksha. है ना? किसी भी चीज में दक्ष बनना. दक्ष मतलब skilled.
Skilled, yeah.
You are skilled in archery. That means you have taken Diksha in archery. Diksha means you're committed to that.
Yeah.
You will promote that. You will take to that. You will do it beautifully. You'll do it excellently. Whether it is archery or shooting or anything. Okay, so that is a etymological meaning of Diksha. But because it is Moksha Marga, we use the word Atma में, Raman में जो दक्ष है ना, आत्मलीनता में जो दक्ष है वो दीक्षा. But today, are people taking Diksha from that perspective?
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay, so they will, if they're that means they're applying the Dravyanu. Or if they are not applying the Dravyanu Yoga, then they are only changing the robes, leaving the house, renouncing the world. So that is Charnanu Yoga Vali Diksha.
Yeah.
With the Tattva Gyan, you take to Diksha, then in Karnanu Yoga point of view, your Mithyatva, Mohaniya Karma, everything will go. So when that Mohaniya Karma falls, all the other karmas will fall.
Cool.
And without application of Dravyanu Yoga, you take to Diksha, then your Mohaniya Karma will not fall, but you will get some Shubha Nama Karma, Shubha Gotra Karma, Shubha Vedaniya Karma, Shubha Ayushya Karma. But the Ghati Karma are not addressed at all. Aghati Karma build up will be Shubha, that will take you to Devlok. But once that karma is enjoyed and finished, this Mithyatva will again take you back to Nigodha.
Yeah.
So that is the Karnanu Yoga interpretation.
Yeah.
And when you look at Prathamanu Yoga, you will see that all the great people also went to Nigodha. They also evolved, they took to Shubha Bhav with the Mithyatva, they went to Nigodha. And those who applied the Dravyanu Yoga, they understood the Shuddhatma, then they kept the Shubh Upyoga as Heya, and they became Tirthankas. So their names are celebrated in Prathamanu.
Yeah.
So that way you have to look at Diksha. That way you have to look at the concept of Diksha. Likewise, all the concepts. Likewise, all the rituals. Vrat, Niyam, Samiti, Gupti, Shat, Avashyak, Puja, everything, Samaik, everything you have to look at through this, the prism of 4 Anuyoga.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else? Or we'll do some Stavan today?
Sure. Before we do that, ma'am, just last one question, ma'am.
You can ask 10 questions, don't worry.
Yeah. No. The Mithya Drashti Jeev that Pandit Todalmalji is referring to, is he the one who is Anadikal Mithyatvi, or the one who is also would have had Samyaktu at some point and had fallen down from there?
Both.
Okay.
Both. You have to generally he's talking about both.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Mithya Drishti who tasted Samyaktva and fell back in Mithyatva, and a Mithya Drishti who has never tasted Samyaktva and fallen to Mithyatva, for them to come out of Mithyatva, they have to apply the 4 Anuyogas.
Okay.
And repeatedly, recurringly, consistently, they have to apply the 4 Anuyogas and then evolve.
Thank you.
It's not that one set will need it, one set will not need it. It's not like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, anybody else? I'm having one very beautiful book, Bhakti Bhavna, by Pandit Ravindra Ji from Amayan. And all are very beautiful poems and many are written by him. From that, I would like to all about Atma only he talks. What do you want? Dev Bhakti, Shastra Bhakti, Guru Bhakti? Kya karna hai?
We'll do Guru Bhakti, ma'am.
Guru Bhakti, Dev Guru Bhakti. Okay, I will take page number 145. What he says. Chalo, we'll do it. I will just recite it. It's in Hindi and I'll give you the English meaning. Anybody not interested can leave the class. Those who are interested can stay. We'll just, or we can, anytime you tell me to close, I'll close. I'm ready. वनवासी संतों को नित ही अगणित बार नमन हो. वनवासी संतों को नित ही अगणित बार नमन हो. That is, innumerable times I bow down to the Vanavasi Santa. Dravya naman ho, bhav naman ho, aru paramarth naman ho. From dravya physically, spiritually, and metaphysically, philosophically, I get connected to them. गृहस्थ अवस्था से मुख मोड़ा, सब आरम परिग्रह छोड़ा, ज्ञान ध्यान तप लीन मुनीश्वर, अगणित बार नमन हो. So he's describing, you gave up the family life, and you have, while giving up the family life, you have given up all kinds of violence, you have given up all kinds of parigraha, and you are taking to Gyan, Dhyan, Tap. You are taking to the different kinds of tap, so that आपके ज्ञान में आपका ध्यान लग जाए, है ना? And aganit bar naman ho. Aganit bar means I am devoted to the way you are devoted to your pure soul. जग विषयों से रहे उदासी, तोड़ी जिनने आशा पाशी, ज्ञानानंद विलासी गुरुवर, अगणित बार नमन हो. That means you are detached from the material world, and you have given up the desires, the fetters of desires, and you are in the Jnana Ananda Vilasi. You are enjoying the Jnana Ananda. So I bow down to you umpteen number of times. अहंकार ममकार न लावे, अंतरंग में निज पद ध्यावे, सहज परम निर्ग्रंथ दिगंबर, अगणित बार नमन है. So you don't have that ego, you don't have attachment, and in your heart of hearts, you are meditating on your pure soul. You are trying to achieve that sahaj state, param detachment. Number here refers to detachment state. So nirgrant state, fetterless state. So I bow down to you umpteen number of times. ख्याति लाभ की नहीं अभिलाषा, सार भूत शुद्धात्म भाषा, आत्म लीन विरक्त देह से, अगणित बार नमन. You have no desire for name and fame, material gains, and you have understood the sar bhut, the essence of Shuddhatma, and you are absorbed in your pure soul, and you are detached from your physical body also. I bow down to you thousands of times. उपसर्गों में नहीं अकुलावे, परिशों से नहीं चिगावे, सहज शांति समता के धारक, अगणित बार नमन हो. The upsarg don't make you anxious, and the parisha don't deviate you from the holy path. Sahaj Shanti Samta, you're experiencing the peace, equanimity, Sahaj Atma inside. I bow down to you. Jin Shasan ka marm batave, when they are not able to absorb in their pure soul, they come out and they tell us the essence of Jin Shasan. Shashwat Sukh ka marg dikhave, they are showing us the path of moksha, and that is traveling inside. Aho aho jinvar se munivar, aganit bar naman. You are literally like the jinas. Jinvar se munivar, yani jinvar jaise munivar. So you are like chalte firte Siddha Bhagwan. Siddha Bhagwan are evolved, absorbed in the pure soul, but you are walkie-talkie Siddha Bhagwan kind of thing. So aganit bar naman ho. ऐसा ही पुरुषार्थ जगावे, धनी निर्ग्रंथ दशा प्रगटावे, समय समय निर्ग्रंथ प्रभु का सहज पने सुमिरन हो. That means may I also do that purusharth that you are doing, and may my nirgranth dasha also manifest, and periodically your nirgranth roop I remember. That's it. This is the poem. Anything else?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
It's a beautiful thing, no? He writes very beautifully.
Yes, very nice, ma'am. Very, very nice.
Yeah. Okay, we'll wind up for today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
We have done the Jinvani Stuti. निज निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, इसके लिए जिनवाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार. Thank you, dear friends.
Jai Jinendra, ma'am. Thank you for today.